Howard Zinn passed away. So I'm telling you, not a good day. Howard Zinn is legendary historian. We actually really recently had him on the program. You should go back and watch that interview. We got it on TYT Interviews on YouTube. I'm going to go back and watch that interview because I want to hear from him again. And he wrote a People's History. And originally, that was only supposed to sell 5,000 copies. It was an alternate version of history. Not that it was the wrong version, or it was just a different version than the one we always got. And the ones we had before Howard Zinn, Christopher Columbus is a hero, and he's a conqueror, and he came, and he's a discoverer, and before him, no one lived here, and then after him, everything was great. And Zinn was like, yeah, I don't think that's how it went down. Let me tell you the other side of the story. The other side of the story is, when he came here, he butchered the Native Americans. Now, the thing is, both sides are right to some degree. I'm glad Columbus came over here because it wound up leading to a set of events where I eventually came here, okay? And I rather like it in America. And that's part of the discussion that I had with Howard Zinn when he was on the program a couple of months ago. Might not have even been that long. Might have been just 6 weeks or so. And, but the other side is also true, which is he did butcher the Native Americans, and if you don't teach people that, well, you're doing them a disservice because their real history is ugly in a lot of ways and messy in a lot of ways, but it is what it is, and there's something to be learned from it. And from my understanding is that the truth shall set you free. So we should learn both sides, obviously. And, you know, as you read the personal history of Zinn, you can't help but love the guy. Always had trouble with authority, but his students loved him. And people that were, you know, that worked with him loved him, except if they were higher ups. Because why? He always challenged authority, right? So he went to go work at Spelman, which was an all-black women's college, okay? So he goes down there, and he's originally, his parents are Jewish immigrants from New York. He was born in 1922, and so he goes down there, and he teaches. And now eventually he gets in trouble with the higher-ups, and they fire him. Why? Because he challenged them to be part of the civil rights movement, and they wanted to remain neutral. I mean, you read stories like that, and how do you not love the guy, right? And he challenged everybody to do right and to think of different perspectives, et cetera. And he affected a lot of people, including famous people like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who lived actually near him, apparently, in Massachusetts, included him in some of their movies and mentioned him in Good Will Hunting. And they really recently did a documentary, which is what we had him on to talk about, which is on television now. And Bruce Springsteen very much affected by him, but so were many other people. So the the People's History, which the main book that he wrote that everybody knows him for, was supposed to sell 5,000. It wound up selling over 1 million by the time it was 2003. So what we need more in this world is people like Howard Zinn to take on the establishment, to challenge authority, and to tell it like it really is, no matter what the consequences are. So I'm very glad to have talked with him before he passed. So now, we have these legends, right? And understand, history applies to everybody, and the fact that it's ugly and messy applies to everybody. Howard Zinn's not a saint, and J.D. Salinger's certainly not a saint, but they did some good things that reached out to people and that convinced them to do right, you know, in my opinion, and brought us a little closer to the truth.